I ordered 3 wired Xbox One controllers from eBay for $15. They were listed as untested. So we're going to take a look at them here, see if they work, test them out, and maybe take one apart and get it fixed if we need to. Let's do it. I have not opened this box yet, so we're going to take a look, see what's in here. This corner of the box is a little messed up, so a little worried about that, but we'll see. Alright, first controller, no bubble wrap. That's not a good sign. Well, let's keep going. Second controller, so we got 2 white controllers here, and a black controller. Okay. Zero bubble wrap. That's not good. A little bit dirty, but nothing too much going on here. They are all Power A controllers. So let's just go ahead and start with the first white controller. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get it plugged in, test it out on my PC, and see if everything works. Alright, let's go ahead and start testing out this controller. The left stick seems to work great. Right stick seems to work great too. Bumpers, triggers. Oh, you can see that stick is wobbling a little bit, but it's not too bad. D-pad on these controllers is a little mushy, but it does work. Yeah, everything works great on this controller. So that's an easy win. Just got to get this one cleaned up and I'll be able to sell it. Alright, let's go to the next white one. Alright, second controller here. Left stick is good. Right stick is good as well. D-pad's good. Wow, I don't see any issues. Another just perfectly working controller. Alright, let's go to the last one, the black one. Alright, left stick. Looks great. Right stick's a little jumpy, but nothing too crazy. Triggers are good. Bumpers. Yeah, again, everything is working perfectly fine. No issues with any of these controllers. Alright, well, they all work, but we're not going to just sit here and not take one apart. So let's go ahead and unplug this black one. Let's take it apart and take a look and see what we've got inside. So for this, I am going to use iFixit driver kit. This thing is great. If you're looking for a toolkit to take apart video game controllers or electronics, this is the way to go. This controller is just going to use Phillips, which is nice. So let's see what size we need. So it looks like we're going to use that 00. Actually, might go up one size. Go to the 0. Oh yeah, much better. So you're going to be using your Phillips 0. That comes right out. This controller looks like it's going to be pretty simple to take apart. Just has 8 Phillips screws. Now with the Microsoft controller, it actually has those bumpers on the side that you have to pull off to get to the screws. Alright, let's see if they're all out. We got 2. Sometimes they don't want to come, so you just gotta play with it here. Try not to lose any screws. A little dirty in here, but that's okay. We'll clean that up. And then if a screw really doesn't want to come out, you just grab the tweezers. And there we go. Got all our screws out. Let's see how this guy comes apart. Okay. There's the back. You see that's just a shell. Not that clean in here, but you've got some glue just kind of holding all the wires in place. Is there any screws holding this board in place? Or is it just glued down? Two little screws here for the triggers. Let's see if that's what's holding it in. Nope. I think this is just all glued down together. That would be a terrible design, because I really don't see anything. Oh, it's lifting up here. Here goes that. A little plastic for the headphone jack. Yep, it is actually glued down here where the board meets the plastic for where the rumble motors are. Oh, okay, so don't need a knife for that. What you're going to want to use is a pry tool, similar to that. And basically what I did is I kind of just snuck in and twisted to get some torque. And there we go. So just to go over that again, since that took me a little while, the board itself, the board itself had 2 screws, one on this side and one right here. And then it was glued down here. And I don't know if that was on purpose or if they were just trying to put glue on the connectors for the rumble motors. And so I had to actually break that glue free from the plastic. Alright, so now we lift out. Alright, we're going to be careful with this because I don't want all these buttons to fall out. But you'll see the D-pad is actually screwed in here, so I can't even get to it to take a look at that. So let's do that next. Because one of the big requests here was somebody was asking about fixing the D-pad on one of these Power A controllers. And I had no idea how different it was from the Microsoft controller. So you got 4 screws here. and then that D-pad's just going to lift out, and then just kind of has these mushy tactile buttons here. Yeah, not a great design. And then it connects to the board with this black connector here. So if you wanted to fix this D-pad, you could certainly come in here and just clean this up. I'm sure with this, if gunk gets up in here, it'll cause issues with the input. But this one's fine, so we can leave it. So I'll go ahead and put that back in. Okay, D-pad's back in. Now I'm just going to take another look at the board here, just to show you guys if you've got issues, what you can do. With this, not too crazy here, but you'll notice that the rumble motors do have connectors right here. So if those were ever to stop working, you can obviously clean those up. It's going to be very tough since they put glue everywhere. You'd have to find a way to get rid of that glue first before you could, fix those solder points. In terms of the thumbsticks, what you'll see is right here, this one's actually easier, more visible, but you've got all these solder joints here that you could reflow if you needed to, or take that out and replace it. That's not an easy job just because there is so many solder points, but it is possible. The other one is actually underneath this unit here, so you'd probably have to completely take off this plastic trigger unit. I do not love that trigger either. It's not that great. But you'll see even with that, it's all glued down. Now the solder points aren't glued down, so that's nice. At least that you can get to those trigger solder points right in the corners here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Still a simple controller. Not as easy to repair as the Microsoft controller, but if you had some issues with the D-pad or had to replace one of these, it is possible. All right, let's go ahead and put the controller back together. So I'm going to grab that faceplate first. Go ahead and just set this down inside. Make sure we get those rumble motors tucked in. And with this, you got to worry about the cable here. It's supposed to sit in here a certain way. Say probably like that. Yep, snapped right in. And this board's got to go way down. There we go. Had to lift up the controller to get those thumbsticks through. Then we're going to want to put this back on, the plastic for the headphone jack. Something's still sticking up here. There we go. Just had to put some pressure down here at the bottom to get the snap into place. Alright, that headphone jack plastic is back. So now we've got the two screws here that went into the board. Now these controllers are pretty simple, but I still recommend if you're going to take stuff apart like this, just throughout the process take pictures. That way you can always reference those pictures to see where, screws went and how things were positioned. Doesn't seem to want to grab, but it's in. Alright, and the back plate just goes back on. See if everything snaps into place. Seems to be right. Okay. Put these 8 screws back in, and we should be good to go. I would say that was a great buy. I was able to get 3 wired Xbox One controllers for $15. They all work perfectly. All I need to do is clean them up, and they should be good to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.